It is almost 3 o'clock and I have to write a description for a show that I'm producing. And man, I can't get myself to focus. Hello, so today is Tuesday, July 5th, after the 4th of July weekend, and as you all know, 4th of July weekend is crazy because if you are an American, you usually are off that day and are having a good time with friends and family. So I actually did a little bit of work on that day to get some show notes going for episodes just in advance, because if I start my work week after a vacation without having done at least 1 or 2 hours of work prior to that, I usually come back and I'm a hot mess. But what I'm trying to do is get my bullet journal going. So I have a journal here and it has like normal dots and then it has lines, and then on the end of the book it has blank pages for like ideation and stuff. But I've kind of stopped my bullet journal process since it can be a lot to keep up with at times, but I am trying to get back into it. Long story short, it is almost 3 o'clock and I have to write a description for a show that I'm producing. And man, I can't get myself to focus. So whenever I have like an afternoon slump, I usually go for a quick walk or I grab a quick snack. I'm not gonna slack. I might use it. I'm gonna go grab a quick snack. I'm gonna take you with me. Breaks throughout the day is super important for me because if I don't, I will lose all motivation and get stressed. And being stressed is scientifically proven to let your creativity become stifled and basically non-existent. So breaks are part of my job. That's at least what I try to do. Even though I'm on a break, I try to keep my Slack notifications on my phone so that it's easy for me to keep track of my time and helps me make sure that I'm not missing anything important. So it's a break, but it's not vacation. So here's the thing. It's later now, past 3. If I check my laptop, it's 3:30. According to my time block calendar, I should have started writing my show descriptions 30 minutes ago. But I am going to choose to not be mean to myself because there's a long line at the Barnes & Nobles. But I got a passion fruit pineapple drink, and I also got a very large water because I am usually extremely dehydrated throughout the day. I need to get better at drinking water. But long story short,
Hi, Editing Rita here to apologize for every freaking time I say long story short. Let's make it a game. Every time you hear me say it, grab a drink, have a nice day, and enjoy the rest of the video.
after moving my body around a little bit, I feel more ready and encouraged to write these 2 show descriptions. So basically what I do is I have someone help me pull together the guest information for this show, and I take that information and the guest research document and think about an interesting description for the show. This show is recorded in something called StreamYard. StreamYard is a live streaming video platform that's great for podcasters because you can have all of your video assets plugged in to StreamYard so that they play while you are doing your interview. But sometimes, in order to stay organized, it's best to actually schedule in advance. It's about 7 days in advance max is what you can do on StreamYard. No, 7 days in advance on StreamYard. But in order to schedule that episode, it requires a description of the show and specifically what that guest and you as a host will be talking about. So sometimes it can be a little overwhelming to do on your own. So this show is working with me and I'm helping them do that. But I gotta get to it. So I'll talk to you later.
Audience into the scene he described by creating an imaginary picture. Usually it's something that moves.
I'm about to do a host coaching session with Penny, and I'm very excited to get going on this. She's working on a project, but I'm definitely so excited to see if we're able to break her out of her shell and teach her how to read an engaging podcast intro and outro.
So Penny is about to join us, and I'm really excited about it. I'm going to share my screen, and the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to review the script. We're going to start with the intro. I'm going to have you do what I call a dry read. So
Okay, that sounds great.
awesome. First thing I was going to ask you actually is, what are 3 words that are descriptors that you would use to describe the tone of this podcast?
So let's see. She's inspirational and open.
Like raw,
Yeah.
authentic. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, perfect. Look at you.
You know, and then like 90s vibe. That's not a word, but sure. So the reason why is the tone of the show is going to have an effect on how we read the intro and the outro. So let's start with the intro. If you can just do a rough read through for me, please.
Okay. Are you working a regular job or in the military? Are you living in a traditional sticks and bricks home? Are you listening to the RV Entrepreneur podcast because you want to create a different life for yourself and your family? If you answered yes to these questions, you're in for a treat. Liz Wilcox will give us the 411. Liz launched a successful remote business as an asset, which was valuable enough that someone bought it from her. You'll be surprised how quickly Liz was able to sell her business. We'll hear how Liz came up with the problem that her business would solve. Liz built a business which supported her family and allowed her then husband to leave the military. And she did it by leveraging the RV entrepreneur community. We will hear why Liz hates the solopreneur label and how this community played a role in Liz's business from day 0 to the day she sold it. Let's listen.
Awesome. Okay. So 2 things I think you did really good are you added more emphasis on leveraging the RV and entrepreneur community. And I also feel like you're reading it at a pace, like you're not too fast, but you're not like too slow. I think what we can focus on is the intonation of how you say certain words. And I'm going to give you an example by bolding certain words that I think require some more emphasis when you say them. These 2 lines here are not as engaging as they should be. The first 2 lines have to be a little more exaggerated than you normally would speak in a casual conversation, because that is the first few seconds that somebody's going to choose whether or not they're going to listen to the podcast. So that's like your wow, sell 'em moment. So for me, instead of reading it like, are you working a regular job or in the military? Are you living in traditional sticks and bricks homes? It kind of sounds like one of those medicine commercials. Are you living with mild to severe fibromyalgia? We have to emphasize different words a little bit to get out of that kind of a tone.
Are you working a regular job or in the military? Or are you living in a sticks and bricks home? Are you listening to our podcast because you want to create a different life for yourself and your family? If you answered yes to these questions, that's totally rad. You are in for a treat. Liz Wilcox is here to give us the 411. Liz launched a successful remote business as an asset. The amazing thing is it was valuable enough that someone bought it from her. You'll be surprised how quickly Liz was able to sell her business. So grab your s'mores, light your campfire, and let's dive right in.
Okay, I just gotta say, even though that was wildly extra, that was really freaking good. Here's why. It's a podcast. It's audio. We're telling story with our words. and painting a picture with words when video is not present. So sometimes we have to add a little more zhuzh into what we say so that the person receiving it can paint that picture in their mind for themselves. All right.
So I can do this.
I love it.
Are you working a regular job or in the military? Or are you living in sticks and bricks home? Are you listening to our podcast because you want to create a different life for yourself and your family? If you answered yes to these questions, that's totally rad. You are in for a treat. Liz Wilcox is here to give us the 411. Liz launched a successful remote business as an asset. The amazing thing is it was valuable enough that somebody bought it from her. You will be surprised how quickly Liz was able to sell her business. In this episode, Liz breaks down how she built a business from the campground up, providing her with the financial success she needed to support her family and take her career to the next level. And she did it by leveraging the RV entrepreneur community. We will hear why Liz hates the solopreneur label and how our community played a role in Liz's business from day 0 to the day she sold it. So grab your s'mores, light your campfire, and let's dive right in.
You did great. Amazing. Amazing. Such an improvement.
So there you have it. That is my very first vlog. I'm super excited that I was able to do all the things that I did today. I had a work from home day on Tuesdays. I usually try to stay home and get some random things done, and I'm really satisfied with all the things that I've gotten to do. Let me know in the comments below if you learned anything cool from the video, or what you like to do for your podcast intros if you write podcast intros yourself. Please make sure to subscribe, like, and comment, and I really appreciate anyone who's taken the time to come by and hang out with me. Have a great day!